Hey guys, how you doing? Morning. Welcome to the Academy Answers podcast, where we answer the questions on the topic of personal development, success, finance that we do because of the work we do on our blog and our social media. People come through to us to ask us for suggestions, for help, to give us suggestions and criticisms also on different topics on personal finance, happiness, success, mindset, productivity, that sort of stuff that has to do with a better you, how to grow yourself personally. Because most people don't have a personal growth plan. Most people have a plan to get material things, a plan to grow their career, but they don't have a plan to become better. But unless you become better as a person, then most of the things that you get, it'll be either harder to get, or you won't appreciate them or be able to enjoy them enough. So having a personal growth plan is the best way to build your life and to go forward, because as I often say, is a saying that I heard T.I. said, is that you can do what you want to do to get to where you want to get to in life, but when you get there, how will you get your life back? In other words, you can ignore everything, your health, your family and everything, and your friends and your social life, and get to where you want to. But when you get to these places, you're going to need health, you're going to need friends, you're going to need all that stuff that you left behind. How are you going to go and pick them back up? Life doesn't give you that opportunity. So you have to build your life. So this question is, how do I fight off the odds and get back to a decent level that I was at in my business? Now my business is in tough times. I am under pressure. I feel demotivated. I don't think I have options. There are the times when things were good, and I can't get back to those times because I think there are so many things going against me, economics, the market and all that stuff. I've been there. I can relate to this question deep, and as I go over it, it brings me back to the moments when I lost my business. I lost a huge contract, and things went south, and I was trying to figure out myself. And when one thing goes south, usually 3, 4, 5 things go south with that too. So it does hit a person hard when you lose things, when you lose something important, business, a family member, marriage, houses, cars. When you lose something that you value, that you work hard for, it affects you. It affects you emotionally. Your emotional state changes. And that's one of the biggest things that's going to stop you from coming back, that's going to affect your recovery, your emotional state. Because your emotional state dictates your physical actions and the quality of your physical actions. If you're in a poor emotional state, your clarity will be affected and you will not be able to focus well. And if these things are affected, your physical output is also affected, and thus affecting your qualitative output. So here we are, going through tough times, understanding what good times were, having tasted flight, and now we have to settle for 2, 3, 4 levels below that in terms of what we do, the peace of mind we feel, how well we are able to take care of ourselves and family. And that is crushing. It is so crushing. I've had that experience before when I couldn't pay my bills. I'm ignoring my landlord. I am not paying my servicing my loans. I'm not able to take care of the people I care about. I cannot do what I used to do. And that shakes your confidence. It plays on you. I went into anxiety. I was waking up shaking. I was having a negative mindset, waiting for something else bad to happen. But the first step you can take to pull yourself out of this is to understand, as I've just stated, the power of your emotional state. So now your deal is, how do I get control of myself, of my mind, of my head? If you can regulate what's happening in your head, then you have the best opportunity to command what you are putting out there, the work you're doing to come back, the clarity you're getting to see the avenues through which you can come back. So first you have to manage that emotional state. You can act your way into a feeling faster than you can feel your way into acting. So you pretty much can, if movement affects emotion, motion affects emotion. So you have to drop the cortisol level in your blood, and that happens through exercise and meditation. So get moving, get involved in physical activities. The brain release endorphins that helps the body and the mind when you exercise. Get into high activity exercise that get the heart rate going up and get your blood pumping. That's the first step. Get an exercise routine that you do every day. Second thing is to start surround yourself with winners or with ideas from winners. So you can do that on social media these days. When I was in my tough spots, I never had social media like that to do it up front. It wasn't so popular. It was there, but it wasn't so solid and popular and robust. These days, everything is out there. So that's what you want to do. If you can't find people around you who have a positive mindset, who are winning, you have to shelve that ego. You don't have to feel like you're a loser. Find genuine people who understood, because I guarantee you most of the people who are winning know what losing is and have been there before. So they won't look at you in any funny way. They won't have any chip on their shoulder, won't have any scorn or anything towards you. So drop the ego, associate with these people, ask them questions, ask them for suggestions. Or if they're not around you, turn to books and YouTube and Facebook and find motivational, successful people who are doing good, and immerse yourself in that. You have to block all the avenues where negative, I can't, I doubt, I don't think it will happen, lack of confidence comes into your consciousness and into your environment. Because the more you think of that is the more energy you're putting there, and energy goes where attention flows. So you're bringing an energy of failure, bringing an energy of losing into your being, into your existence, and that naturally is going to keep you down, it's going to slow you down, it's going to retard your growth and your recovery. So you want to get into the right environment, surround yourself with the right people or ideas if you can't find the right people, or people and ideas, which would be ideal circumstances. Read books, read good, positive, business, motivational, success-driven books. Listen to people's backstory, read autobiographies. Make it as a plan. Don't say you're going to do it or next week I'm going to take up a book. Have it as a plan. Say I do 15 minutes of reading every day after I do X or at this point in time. That's what you got to do. And then now you have to do the research and the work as a third step as to what is your plan to come back. How are you going to do this? You do your necessary due diligence. I don't know what business you're in. You explore all the options, and it might be, which is what can probably hold you back, or what is one of the big things that holds people back, might be that you might have to break out of what you are doing now. You might have to shake up that comfort zone a bit. You might have to go off into a new venture. But don't worry about learning it. There are two ways and two main things, or three real branches of business and doing business and being successful in business. The first tier is your mindset. You have to have a business mindset. You have to have a success growth mindset. First tier. We can talk about that. We talk about that every day. Second step is that you have to understand business. I suspect you're in business already. You understand business. If not, go study it, learn it, understand. It's like anything else. We're not born doing this thing or knowing this thing. You have to study it, learn it, understand it. And the next thing is that you have to understand the business you are in. So you understand businesses, how businesses work, production aspect, the marketing aspect, the finance aspect, the personal aspects. Deep dive into that. And then you have to understand how your business works, the industry, the regulations, how it works, the customer base, your avatar, your market, how all of that aspect works. So it's how the business that you're running, how it operates, what's involved in the space in you're operating in. Once you get those two things aligned, then you can do your business at the highest level. So if the business you're in is becoming extinct, because many businesses are becoming extinct and the competition is crushing them, and you have to divert, or you have to add a branch, or you have to go deeper, go niche down a little more, then make that assessment and know. And then you make your plan. Make your plan, write your plan, work your plan. You might have to tweak and change, and it might become a totally different plan in 6 or 10 months. But if you have a plan, then you have a guide. You're going along a certain direction, and you will be getting the results from the feedback to know what to shift and what to adjust. And the last thing you do is now you go out there and you take massive action in the direction of where you want to go. You take massive action, quantitative and qualitative massive action every day. If they work 10 hours, you work 12, 14, 15, 16, 20. If they are doing 6 hours of research, you're doing 12 hours of research, because ultimately the man with the knowledge and the information wins. If you know, you can either back out or go in deeper. If you know, you can either back out or go in deeper. It's not an exact science. You won't magically say, okay, I know this thing and it's a bound sure shot to happen. But if you have the information, you increase your probability. You don't control all the variables. Nobody controls all the variables. Real estate could be going really nice and you get 100 properties, and tomorrow morning the government makes some shift and you're bombed. But if you are privy to the information that you need to get 100 properties, tomorrow morning your life could change forever. You could have built a generation of wealth in 3 months because of the policy shift that's coming in your direction. So knowledge is the ultimate baseline, because that's where everything springs from. You know why you're doing what you're doing, and you're not just shooting in the air. So look at the personal aspect of what you're doing. Understand the two-pronged business aspect in terms of knowing business and knowing your business, and take massive action. Make decisions, commit, focus. So once you work on yourself, you give yourself clarity to go and do the work that needs to be done. And you believe in yourself and you persevere. It might happen next month. It might happen 6 months' time. It might happen a year time. It might happen 3 years' time, 4 years' time, 5 years' time. But if you do nothing, 5 years will still come. If you do nothing, 10 years will still come. If you do nothing, 6 months, 3 months, they're going to come. Time will come. So if you do something, the plus is that when time comes, you would have been somewhere. You wouldn't be stuck sitting there, made no move. You would have understood at least 10 things that don't work, so you can move on to number 11. Instead of sitting at a point where you're looking at 11 things 5 years from now and you don't know which one doesn't work. So get out there, fix yourself, get the information, take massive action. That is my advice to you, and have the persistence to ride it out. So decide that these are realistic variables, these are realistic targets. These targets may not be met, but I will be closer to them. And as you continue to move, you will figure it out. We must trust in ourselves to figure stuff out. We must furnish ourselves with all the pillars and all the resources and the knowledge and information that we need to go forward. And then we must trust ourselves to keep going forward, and that it will work out for us. Have a good day. Always a pleasure. Thank you, guys.